What is up, YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Anonymous Nobody, and I am back with another video. Today's topic is going to be in reference to the emasculation of men. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. Again, today's topic is why the emasculation of men must stop. Let's go back and try to find out or figure out when this whole agenda started. When did this narrative started? I'm just going to take a stab and say it kind of started with around the turn of the century with this whole toxic masculinity push. Where men were being shamed for being men. We were being shamed for following our own true nature, which is to be protectors and providers. You know, that whole push to find a man that's in tune with his emotions. And I think it's funny because those are they're not typically straight homosexual males that are in tune with their emotions. Most straight men are stoic, more action oriented than giving long, drawn out speeches. And it seems that this has progressed to the point now where everywhere you turn, everything's turned on its head. You know, I see more and more actors cross-dressing and wearing dresses. And this crossed over into the music industry also. And the reason this is a problem because this is influencing the younger audience who will in turn be our leaders of tomorrow. So I think it was Young Jock. I can't recall who the rapper was the first one that started wearing a dress. I know they've got Kanye in a dress. You know, if we want to go into actors, you know, they've got Wesley Snipes in a dress. Cuba Gooding Jr. has been in a dress. There's a couple of them they didn't get. I know they didn't get Denzel Washington. And they didn't get Samuel L. Jackson or Eddie Murphy. But I know damn sure they tried. And kudos to those men for saying no and understanding the bigger picture. As you can see here from the photo, this is an NFL player. And I believe this is a romper. It's not a dress, but it might as well be. I mean, look at the pattern. It's bad enough you have these young guys out here wearing these satchels that look like cross bags that a woman would wear. But now, you know, what's next? High heels? You know, they're already putting beads in their hair. They're already dyeing their hair. You know, I just don't know what's next. But the trend is really bad. And another point that I just thought about is why this is bad. Have you noticed recently in the news or on the internet, you don't see men fighting anymore. You see women fighting in the streets, in the airports, in the malls, in restaurants. You see women fighting. And what do you see men doing? Sitting around recording it like women. The way it used to be, you know, the men would handle the physical things. And the women would try to calm the man down or break up the fight. Now you have men sitting around instigating and agonizing the situation or recording it. And, you know, it's just getting out of hand. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually seen two men fighting. Not worried about what caused the fight or what the issue was about, but just two men fighting. You know, it's getting to the point now where, you know, us straight men are becoming minorities. It's getting to the point now where they're trying to feminize us, if that's an actual word, so much to, you know, we're doing things that women would typically do. Look at this post here. If this doesn't look like makeup for men, I don't know what else to call it. So apparently it's for a beard. If you can't grow a beard, you put this stuff on and blend it in with your beard and then make your beard look full. Guess what? If you can't grow a full beard, then just cut it off. Just cut it off. Don't go get makeup. You know, I remember back in the day when I had hair, I had locks halfway down my back. And after so many years of having locks, I started to lose them. And the stylist that I was going to suggested fake hair, like weave. And me and her were pretty much done once she made that suggestion. I refused to put weave in my hair, because it's just not a masculine thing to do. Beyond this makeup line, have you also seen all of the apparatuses or body shapers that they have for men now? They have shirts that make you look like you have a V shape, you know. They got all these contraptions that you can wear to make your shoulders look broader. And I was like, thinking to myself, like, isn't this what women do? Because I thought, you know, they were judged by beauty and we were judged by our resources. So, I mean, I'm just as confused as you are. And I get that, you know, being healthy and being in the gym and being in shape is the end thing to do. But, you know, that doesn't quite work for every man. And for the most part, throughout history, if the man had resources, he was able to provide and protect, his weight wasn't really an issue. It was something that was kind of accepted. And, you know, this body accepting phase that we in feels like we're back in the Victorian period, where larger women were accepted because it showed wealth, because they were able to eat, versus the slimmer, smaller woman was more or less considered a peasant and was not as valuable because she showed that she did not have wealth because she did not eat. So I'm kind of digressing, but I'm gonna wrap this up with 3 commercial ads. I don't have screenshots of them, but I'll try to find links and put them in the description box below for you, and you can go and view them for yourselves. So the 3 commercials in particular I'm talking about, there is a commercial for the Army where the female is the lead person that they're promoting. And she starts off in grade school helping fight, just like I talked about earlier. Then the next scene cuts into she's playing rugby. And last time I recall, I've never seen a woman's rugby team. And then in the last scene, she's submerged herself in mud and she comes out, and I guess she's over in battle with an AK. Okay. That's real believable. I'm not saying that women don't contribute to our armed services, but that is just way, 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 way extreme and just not very believable. So the second commercial that I'm gonna bring up is that there's an Autozone commercial. And again, there's a woman who is the focal point of the commercial. And she apparently is changing the brakes on her 4x4 Jeep. And I think she did some kind of online order. And I'm sitting there watching it, and I've seen it a couple times, but it didn't dawn on me till maybe the second or third time I watched it. How many women are actually changing their brakes? 1, 2, know how to change brakes. And 3, able to jack up a 4x4 Jeep and get the tire off. Like, come on, people, put your thinking caps on. There's 3 things in that video, in that commercial that are just totally unrealistic. So if you are a female and you can do 3 of those things, please hit me up in the comments so that I can give you a kudos. The third commercial, and I just seen this one recently, was a Modelo ad. And I think it was for one of those MMA fighters who was a female, and I guess she had courage to train in a men-only gym. And I'm thinking to myself, well, she's not fighting men, so why is this such a big deal? You know, she could have trained anywhere. She's still only going to fight women. The day they have men and women fighting in MMA is the day MMA goes away. And we all know that. So the whole narrative about we're equals will be destroyed if that ever happens. And I could be on here for an hour and telling you in how many ways men and women are not equal. And this is why we are where we are as a society, because we're force-fed this narrative that we are, and we're not. And I joke, I think in one of my videos I joked, I said, find me a woman that can open a jar of pickles. So until you open that jar of pickles without help, then you shouldn't have much to say on this topic. So these are just some things that I noticed. You know, hit your boy up in the comment section. I'm sure I'm going to get a little pushback on this particular topic, but it just angers me because I see what this narrative, what this push is doing to our communities, to our families, and to our future leaders. You know, you can't deny biology. We're all here to do a specific thing. We all are born with specific derivatives, or derivatives is maybe the wrong word, but mechanisms. You know, women were our child bearers and men were the hunters and gatherers, just to put it in the most simplest forms. And somehow we've totally complicated things to where now people don't understand what roles they're supposed to do. Because internally, they're saying one thing, but externally and everything else on the outside is telling them the complete opposite. So we just have a very, very mixed up, confused generation right now. And this could be why we're seeing a lot of things occur in society that we're seeing that makes zero sense. But like I said, hit me up in the comment section. This will be a good starting point. I'm sure I'm going to do another video on this topic because I just wanted to hit the major points, but we're going to do another deep dive when I do another one of these videos. I may put it on Patreon first. If you haven't listened to my last video, I'm going to start posting on Patreon. I'll put the link in the description. Again, I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for lending an ear. I love to continue the discussion with you. Email me, hit me in the comment section. Share this video with someone who you may think may like to hear it or may spark a conversation. This is Mr. Anonymous Nobody, and I'll be back at you soon with another video. Peace.